Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in, man, before I start building on the topic for the day. Real positive stream today, man. We feeling positive. Again, I just want to pass that energy along, so I ain't got much to say to the people today other than just encouraging people, man, inspiring people. Fun Gay Peace, what's going on with you, my brother? How everything going for you? How you living? How you holding up? So we feeling real peaceful, feeling real positive, man. Just want to pass that energy along to you all, man. I just want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody eat. I want to see everybody be at peace. I want to see everybody be at good health. That's all that I ask for, man. I just want to see everybody be the best version of themselves. Montel, peace, what's going on, man? How y'all living? Bonafide, what's going on? How everybody living? TZ, what's going on with you, my brother? Fun Gate, no doubt. No doubt, everything is peaceful my way. Montel, everything is very peaceful my way, man. I'm all good, man. Just striving to pass along the energy. Making sure it's contagious, you know. Colonial Copper, how you feeling after taking it? Jay, what's going on with you, fam? Adronicus, peace, what's going on? Montel, get that workout in, man. How you feeling, man? Workout got you feeling good. Travian, peace, what's going on? Again, man, it's just positive stream. Like I said, I ain't got much to say today, man. We're just positivity, man. I'm feeling like people need to hear words of peace, words of encouragement, words of motivation. I feel like people just need to hear that. I need to hear it for myself. So again, I'm talking to you all, I'm talking to myself. So I'm passing this energy along to you all, but this is some energy that I need myself. So that's why I got to speak it and pass it to you all, man, so I can be talking to myself. So it's like self-talk, but then y'all also in on it. So y'all listen to me talking to myself. CCH, peace, what's going on with you? Jay, no doubt. I just got through with a client, so I already know how that go. Bonafide, with things like that tends to happen. Yeah, you tend to be more in tune with your nerves. So that tends to happen when you start taking certain things like that, like the colloidal copper and the silver. So it may get you a little bit more in tune with your nerves. So you may start feeling a little bit more than you normally would. Emmanuel, Lorenzo, Deja, peace, what's going on? And man, I just got the motivation to just kind of do something positive because I've just been analyzing and interacting with a lot of people, man. And it's a lot of people going through a lot of things, man. It's a lot of people going through a lot of things. You're pushing the 4T, what's going on? You truly never know, man, what somebody is going through. So I really strive to be mindful with some of the energy that I put out, man. I really strive to be mindful in regards to just interacting with individuals because you never know, man. They can be just one step away from jumping off of that cliff. Could be one step away from jumping off of that cliff, man. So you never know. It's a lot of people going through some things, man. A lot of people are suppressing, putting a mask over some of these things that they're going through when they out in the public, man. And that's not necessarily a good thing. And sometimes we be ignorant with each other, man. We be negative towards one another, and we don't need that. We don't need that. Shakir, Swag Yousef, what's going on? We do not need that. And that's what I made a post on Facebook. I said, when you sit back and you start to just observe and you remain silent, you really start to you bear witness to how selfish people are. You bear witness to the selfish nature of humanity when you sit back, observe, and just remain silent. You really start to see how selfish people really are. How people really don't care about the next man or the next woman in regards to their feelings. Everybody just basically wants to hear themselves talk, and then everybody just wants you to hear their problems. They don't really care anything about what you are dealing with. They don't care how you may be feeling. They want you to just hear their problems. They want you to just hear them vent. But when it's time for you to vent, when it's time for them to hear you out, hear your problems, then they don't have time for that. But when they need to get things off their chest, then they need your undivided full attention. But when it's time to reciprocate that, 99% of the time, people don't have time for you. And that's what I mean by when you sit back and you just analyze things, you really start to see how selfish people really are. I've seen it a lot recently, man, just people talking, just interacting with other people. And the interaction is always a situation where everybody is striving to basically vent to the other person. Nobody is really listening, though. Nobody is really listening. Somebody will say something, then the person that they talking to, it goes right back to them. They start talking about a situation when they dealt with something similar. No, sometimes, man, you just need to listen to a person. Sometimes you just need to listen to a person. If I'm talking to you and I'm talking about my grandmother passing, I don't really need to hear you talk about a situation where you dealt with your grandmother passing. Like, sometimes we need to just sit back, just soak up the game, man, and just learn how to listen to people, man. And that's what I become a master of listening. I become a master of listening. And that's what a lot of people need, man. Some people just need to listen, but then you also, the big part about this that we miss out on, when you listen, right? When you doing the talking, you need to be able to reciprocate that art of listening. So when it's the other person's time to talk, they have your undivided full attention. So if I'm talking to you and I'm getting some things off my chest and you listening, when it's your time to talk to me, now I need to listen to you. This is never really how conversations go between two people, just based off of my observation. People do not listen. People do not listen, man. And a lot of people just be going through some things, man. Like I was in a situation with a client. Donna C, peace, what's going on? Kurt Sr., what's going on with you? Appreciate that support, man. I hope you get some jewels from that book. But I was in a situation with a client, right? And this client was dropping some heavy experiences on me. She was talking about how she had to watch she had to watch her mother die in the house that she grew up in, I believe, and then her father dying in the same house. So she was talking about witnessing her father dying and her mother dying all in the same house, and how she is basically forced to live in that house now, and basically how living in that house now kind of haunts her. So she has a lot of problems and whatnot. But she had to witness her mother dying, and she talked about witnessing her father dying. The whole while I'm in this conversation, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, that's messed up, but I'm just listening. I didn't feel like that was the time to say, man, I know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. So at that particular point in time, I realized that she was just venting to me. And this wasn't the time for me to tell her how to kind of cope with the situation or give her some type of metaphysical response that I could have given her. No, that was the time for me to just sit back and listen. That was the time for me to sit back and listen to all the things that she's going through. And that's what I did. When she was done talking and she may have asked me a question, then I responded, then I answered. But if she didn't ask me a question, man, I was just soaking up what she was telling me. I was just letting her get the stuff off her chest. And a lot of times, man, we don't understand that that's all that we need to do sometimes. Even if you feel like you have a solution to the person's problem, that may not be the time for it, man. It's a time and a place for everything, man. Just hear some people out. Just listen to them. Soak up the game, man. You will get your chance to add your 2 cents in eventually, but don't ever try to force it, man. We always want to tell people, or we always want to act like we understand what people are going through. No, we can have the same type of losses. I could have witnessed the same thing that she witnessed, but we respond to them differently because we different. So no, I would never know what the next person is going through because I'm not the next person. So I can never understand how you truly feel because we different. We respond, we react to things differently. We react and respond to the same events differently. So I can never understand how you truly feel. I can only understand what you're telling me about how you truly feel, and that's it. But I can't understand that if I'm not listening to what you are telling me. Nick, peace, what's going on? Deja, no doubt. That's exactly what's happening. And I see that all the time, and I just realized, to me, that's selfish. Like I said, I done been in situations like when my grandmother passed, man, and that's why I stopped talking about it with people in the physical. Because it's like, I tell them, man, you know, I'm dealing with a situation, my grandmother passed. Then it's like every time I say that, oh yeah, my grandmother passed 2-3 years ago. And I'm like, man, but I didn't ask you that. I'm just letting you know what I'm going through. Like, I'm sorry that your grandmother passed, man. I'm gonna let you know that I'm going through some things right now because my grandmother passed. I'm really not concerned about anybody else's grandmother passing. That's not helping my situation. But it's like when you having a conversation, man, people tend to do that. And sometimes that's not really necessary. When people telling me what they going through, unless they ask, that's when I volunteer that information or volunteer some type of words of comfort. But other than that, man, I'm just listening. I'm just listening, man. Sometimes, sometimes, man, we need to stop trying to sound so deep and smart, man, and just listen. Just listen. Because I'm one of the ones, man, I have a lot of things to say in regards to certain subjects, man. But again, time and a place for everything, man. You just got to know when a person is really venting, and you got to know when they really striving to get something off of their chest. Because when it's time for you to get something off your chest, you want for somebody to listen to you. You don't want for somebody trying to tell you, like trying to dictate how you should feel and respond and react. You just want somebody to listen. So when it's time to reciprocate that, man, you need to be able to do that. You need to be able to do that, man. And that's a problem just in your everyday interactions and in relationships for the most part, man. It's like we always competing. We compete with emotions. We compete with feelings. We compete with tragic experiences, man. It's like I tell you somebody in my family died, you telling me about 2 people in your family died, then I got to tell you about 3 more people in my family that died. Like, why are we competing about that? Like, we shouldn't be competing with feelings, emotions, tragic experiences, man. That ain't necessary, man. Somebody telling you that they experienced a tragic loss, man, and they going through it emotionally. That ain't what you think. What do you think it's doing for them by you telling them that the same person in your family has also passed? Sometimes we have good intentions with that. I get it. But, man, sometimes we need to leave it alone. We just need to leave it alone. Let them vent. Let them get things off their chest. Because that's all they striving to do. That's all they striving to do. Tavon Lindell, peace. What's going on? Bonafide, and that's another thing too. When people experience a loss, I don't say a lot of cliche things. One thing I definitely never tell them is everything will be okay. Man, I don't really necessarily know that, so I'm not gonna make that promise to you. I'm not gonna necessarily say that to you. I just sit there, man. When you tell me that you experienced a loss, man, all I could pretty much say is I'm sending my condolences and I'm sending positive and peaceful energy your way. That's all that I do, man. I'm sending all my positive vibes that I can your way. I'm sending all my peaceful vibes that I can your way. That's it. That's it at the end of the day. And then, like, I'm a little bit more hands-on. So if it's somebody that's close to me, I'm like, if you need something from me or my family, then hey, feel free to reach out, man. If you need some funds or whatever, man, just reach out. Like, I also kind of offer that type of help and support. So, like, if you need me to do anything, like if it's a funeral, like if it's real close, if you need me to be in the funeral, whoop, I got you. If you need me to pick you up and take you here, I got you. Depending on the relationship between the 2 people. Now, if we're not that close, then I'm just sending the positive vibes your way. And that's all that I can do at that particular moment, man. But I'm not about to give you this deep response telling you that everything is going to be all right when I really can't promise that. Especially if you don't believe that. Like, me saying it really holds no weight if you don't believe it. I know how grieving goes. I know how it can get, man. It can get rough and it can get real. So things may get worse before they get better. So all I can do is just send that peaceful energy your way. And that's all I strive to do. D, appreciate it, man. And moving to Africa, man, it's not something that I got in the plans, man. But if, if things got too real here, I'll relocate. you're pushing it. And that's exactly why I tend to keep a lot of emotions and feelings to myself, man, because honestly, when it comes to dealing with certain things in life, man, I really, at that point, that is when that selfish nature takes over. Because I don't really want to hear about you dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with. I don't want to hear about you having a similar family member that passed in a similar fashion. Like, I don't necessarily want to hear those things when I'm going through what I'm going through. So it's like, to prevent that, sometimes, man, I just kind of vent my own little ways, man. I write things down instead of like talking to somebody. A lot of people think talking to other people just makes certain people feel better, but in my case, it don't necessarily work that way. When it comes to me getting things off my chest, when it comes to particular situations in life, man, I gotta write those things down and put them in a journal or something, man, because talking to other people don't necessarily make things better for me when it comes to expressing my feelings in regards to certain experiences. So I don't know if you all can relate to that, but sometimes, man, things don't ever really go in that positive direction when I express myself to other people sometimes, depending on what it is. So a lot of that, man, I just got to get it out another way. Because again, man, when you start interacting with other people, man, and then I don't know if you all have experienced this too. When you talking to other people too, you pick up on this vibe and you pick up on this energy that you feel like the person really don't care about what it is that you're talking about. So I can pick up on that energy too. It's like, man, I feel like I'm talking to this person, but I really don't feel like they actually care about what it is that I'm expressing to them. So I done got that a lot, man, just picking up on that vibe, man, like, man, such and such really don't care about what it is I'm saying. So I feel like I'm wasting my words right now, man. I'm wasting my words, wasting my energy. So I don't like that feeling when I feel like a person really don't care about what I'm saying. Yeah, Bonafide, most definitely. And that's another reason why I don't say nothing, especially when somebody experiences a death in the family, because my view towards death is not necessarily going to bring them happiness, like peace or anything. My view towards death is not the brightest. So to prevent all that, I just keep that to myself. Terenzo, no doubt. Get in that meditative state, then I just jot it down. Whatever comes to me, I just jot it down. Just jot it down. And Bonafide, most definitely. Because a lot of people just, they misunderstand things, and then they think that they got something like understood because they went through something similar, so they think they know how to tell you how to deal with it as if we are the same. So I'm like, nah, you dealt with it this way for you. That's not going to help me deal with it though. It's just like a diet, man. There is no universal diet for everybody to adhere to. It's all different depending on your body type, depending on your individual makeup, man. So I can't, like, the same diet that works for this person may kill this next person. So the way you may deal with this situation may not be the best way for me to deal with the situation. Justin Peace, what's going on? So, man, that's why I'm just striving to just throw positive energy in all directions, man, because like I said, it's rough out here, man. When that lady told me about the situation, witnessing both of her parents die and then having to live in that house, like, man, that's crazy, man. I could just imagine that. Like, some of the stuff that she was saying that she experienced and she went through, I couldn't do anything but sit back and listen, man. And then that made me realize that the little stuff that I was thinking about complaining about was small, man. You ever had a situation like that where you was interacting with a person, man, and they was going through so much that you forgot all the stuff that you was thinking about complaining about, or that you were complaining about prior to having that dialogue with that person, man? That's some stuff I'd have been walking into that a lot lately. I have been walking into that a lot lately, man. Just interacting with a person, man. You be like, man, that's crazy. You going through all that and you still here? You in this gym working out with me and you going through all that? I don't know what I was complaining about. Oh, Brandy, I'm talking to myself all the time. But then it's like from the outside, man, when the outside world start hitting you with some of the stuff they going through, man, that'll shift the paradigm. That'll shift the paradigm, man. So it's lead me to this realization, man, that I got a lot to be thankful for. I got a lot to be grateful for, man, because a lot, like, my situation could be way worse. Things could be way worse because it's a lot of people that's going through way worse. So I got a lot to be thankful for, man. A lot of times we just overlook those small things. We call them small, but in reality, they big. But we overlook those things, man, that we should be thankful and grateful for. And I'm here to tell y'all, man, stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. The little problems that you have, somebody wishes they had those problems. Somebody wishes they had your problems to deal with instead of their problems. So just think about that the next time you think about complaining about something that's just so small, something that you can easily change. Just think about that before you start complaining about it. Yeah, Herc, self-talk. I'm big on self-talk, man. And self-talk is crucial. I do it all the time, man. I do it all the time. I'm always talking to myself. Even when I'm talking to somebody else, I'm talking to myself. Even when I'm doing this, I'm talking to myself. So I feel like I'm always talking to myself. Even when I'm interacting with another person or a group of people, I'm still talking to myself. Because what I'm telling them, I need to listen to. I need to adhere to. I need to take heed to my words. So even when I'm talking to a group of people, I'm talking to myself. So at the end of the day, I feel like I'm always talking to myself. No matter the situation, no matter the exchange, no matter the interaction, no matter the dialogue, I'm always communicating with myself. Oh, bona fide, most definitely. A lot of those situations have been humbling me lately, man, just really witnessing what other people are going through, man. It's crazy out here, man. And that's why I wish everybody just peace, positivity, man, and good health. Like if you got your health, man, if you don't have an ailment that you're dealing with, or if you got some minor ailments, man, really be thankful. Really be thankful, man. If you're not going through it physically or mentally, man, just be thankful. Be thankful that you have your health, man, because having your health in this day and time is rare. Having a decent, clean slate of health is rare. Rude boy, peace. What's going on with you, my G? Walker 44, peace. What's going on? Oh, bona fide, it definitely works. Rude boy, man, them bean burgers, I used to do them back in the day, man. I ain't had one in a minute though. Yeah, I used to do them back in the day. I ain't really too fond of like the black bean burgers, man. I mean, some of them were decent. Got to get the right ones, man. But I used to eat them back in the day. I don't necessarily eat them like that anymore though. D, there you go, man. There you go. There you go. And that's another thing, man. You can't allow people to bring you down, man. When you allow people, when people provoke that and get that response up out of you, when people provoke you and get that negative response out of you, they have power over you. They now control you. So that's never a good thing, man. So I always applaud people for being the bigger person and just walking away or just ignoring that negativity. That's a place that I got to work on that. You know, sometimes I tend to go in when I dislike something. If somebody say something I don't like, I tend to go in. Sometimes I can ignore it. Sometimes I go in. So I always applaud the person that's able to just ignore that negativity, ignore that ignorance. And that's what you got to do, man. You just got to ignore it sometimes. Now, that's a time and a place to deal with somebody that's being ignorant, though. So it's a time and a place to deal with it. But, man, if it's like something real petty, man, just ignore it. Keep it moving, keep it pushing, especially if it's somebody that don't even know you and they saying things about you. There ain't no sense to let that bother you, man. Just keep it pushing, man. They don't even know you, man. So why would you let that bother you when this person don't know you? Obviously, they incorrect. So if they saying some fallacious things, man, just keep it moving. Oh, you're pushing it, man. I always get that precise picture, man. That inner dialogue, then when you manifest it outwardly and have that conversation with yourself, man, like I said, it's therapeutic. That's why I call it self-therapy. You know, it's therapeutic. It's therapeutic, man, when you have that conversation with yourself. When you take those thoughts that were internal and then you bring them outside of self, man, and you just had that dialogue with yourself, man, it's therapeutic. Oh, rude boy, the CBD. I mean, it's not something that I personally take, but I don't see any problem with it. People that take it that I know, they ain't got anything but positive things to say about it. So I can only go based off of what they tell me. So I know that the people that I know that take it, that fool with it, nothing but great things to say about it. But I personally don't take it or anything, don't fool with it. But I can only go based off of what the people that I know have taken it say about it. And they say all good things about it. D, you don't need that type of energy in your cipher, man. You don't need that type of energy. Ignore that, disconnect, keep it moving. Keep elevating. Bonafide, and there you go. Okay is like the best response. It's crazy how okay really annoys people. Like I've been there, done that a few times, man. Somebody just saying some crazy stuff and you just hit them with the okay. They can't handle that okay. It's like, man, it's like you just talked about their moms or something and all you said was okay. People can't handle it when you at peace and they disturbed. So a lot of people cannot handle that. So when they get all these things off their chest, when they say all this negative stuff about you, you hit them with a simple okay, they can't handle it. They want you to be in the same state that they are in. They want you to feel what they are feeling. So they can't handle it when you not. So when you at peace, when you smooth, when you centered, when you balance, they gotta disturb that peace and they gotta knock you off balance. So okay will not suffice. They gotta get a negative response out of you. They gotta get that fiery response out of you. They don't need that peaceful response. They don't like that. Yeah, Deja, I see it all the time. That stuff be crazy. It's like you say okay, and they like, what do you mean okay? It's like, man, I literally, what does okay mean? Like all the stuff that you just told me, okay, you know, everything that you just said, okay. And they start saying, what do you mean? And they just start going in again. And once again, you hit them with okay. You want to make somebody mad, bro, just say okay. Like this the homework for the day. If you want to make somebody mad, if you want to upset somebody, when they send you something today, just say okay. That's all I got to say. Like that's the task for the day. If you want to make somebody mad, man, when they say something to you, man, just hit them with okay. Rude boy, yeah, I already put my book out, the Inner Mass book. That book dropped a few months ago. I'm working on another one that'll probably be out next month or so on Amazon. King Grady, peace, what's going on? Tavon, no doubt. You keep it short and brief with people, they can't handle it. They cannot handle it. Dion, no doubt. I definitely don't feed it. Definitely don't feed it, man. When you feed it, what is it gonna do? It's gonna become obese. It's gonna grow. It's gonna get larger. It's gonna get bigger. That's what happens when you feed it. You gotta starve. You gotta starve that. You gotta starve them. You gotta starve them. When somebody coming to you with that negativity, man, you gotta starve them. You can't feed it. Can't feed them. You gotta starve them. You gotta starve them. You feed them, like I said, it's only gonna grow. It's only gonna get bigger. It's only gonna become obese. And you don't want that issue. You don't want those issues. You don't want those problems. When the situation becomes obese, now we got a lot of problems. So you wanna starve it. You wanna starve it. Yeah, Bonafide, that's what I tell people too about just resolving conflicts, man. Sometimes you just gotta accept things for what they are, not what you want them to be, not what you feel like they should be. And I feel like a lot of people make that mistake in like relationships, man. They had this idea of what the person that they with should be, but in reality, that's not how the person is. I don't know if you all have ever been there, done that, but it's like people try to make people other than themselves in relationships. Man, you can't be trying to change people. People don't like that, especially on my end. I'm not a puppet. I'm gonna be the way that I am, man, and I'm not really I don't really care to change for nobody in regards to certain aspects of myself. Now, if I feel like certain aspects of myself are detrimental, then of course, obviously, I would strive to change those aspects of myself. But if I feel like the aspects of myself are that's bringing me peace, and you want to change those aspects of myself, gonna have a problem. Gonna have a problem. Instead of just accepting the person for who they are, you trying to change them into what you want them to be. Anytime you try to do that in relationship, in life, like, you gonna have a problem. Gonna have a problem. Original one. Now, sending you negative energy, like, are you interacting with this individual? Because if you interacting with them, like whether it be text or whether it be in person, I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring, like, if somebody is constantly sending me that negative energy, I'm ignoring it, and then I'm countering it with positive energy. At least that's what I strive to do. Sometimes when that negative energy comes from a certain people, then they sometimes they get me. Sometimes I get upset and I respond. But for the most part, man, I try to counter it with some positive energy or some productive energy and just ignore it. So I'm getting real heavy on ignoring that negative energy and just countering it with some better energy, some better vibes. Oh, Rude Boy, no doubt, man. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, Inner Mask. Yeah, Tavon, like I said, it's an art, man. We are work in progress when it comes to listening, man, because for the most part, like I said, self-preservation is the first law of nature, man, especially when things become a little negative. You know, we tend to be like, man, we don't want to hear all that, man. But sometimes even that situation or even that conversation that appears to be negative, like, really it's a positive in that. Like, that person that's coming to you with this so-called, not negative energy, like if they saying something bad about you, that's one thing. But if they just talking about something that you may feel like is negative or depressing, man, just hear them out, because it may be a positive in that. The positive may be that they getting some off their chest, and by you listening, you helping that person become stronger and better. Oh, bona fide. Nah, see, we don't rock like that. And that's the thing, and that's how I live. I don't force anything on anyone. Like, I don't deal with force. So, like, I just stay true to myself. And if some things that I'm doing influence you and you want to try to incorporate some things that I'm doing, then I'm all for teaching you some of the stuff that I'm doing. But I'm not going to force anything on anyone. And I expect for that to be reciprocated. I allow people to be themselves. I don't try to force anybody to change. I don't try to force anybody to do something they don't want to do. So when that type of stuff comes to me, I have a big problem with it. If I allow you to be yourself, I expect for you to allow me to be myself and accept me for who I am. Now, when that energy is not reciprocated, we're going to have a problem 10 times out of 10, because that's incorrect. That's not how that works. I'm allowing you to be yourself. You cannot be striving to change me. It's not how that works. That's not how that works. Because what people don't realize, when I accept you as yourself, you might do plenty of things that I don't necessarily fool with and agree with, but I'm letting it rock because that's who you are. So the moment you strive to change certain things about me, then that's when I'm like, it's a lot of things that I could talk about you that you need to change, but I'm allowing you to be who you are. So it's like, nah, don't bring that energy my way, because I'm accepting you flaws and all. So I need for you to do the same, because then I can easily highlight your flaws because we all have them. So, like, at the end of the day, that's why I really can't stand it when people do that. Oh, Idris, no doubt. I don't know about the smile part. I don't really smile too much. That's just my facial expression. But I definitely can kill him with, like, that peace. That calm energy, man. Just being calm. Remaining calm. Oh, D, you ain't even gotta harbor those type of feelings, bro. You ain't even gotta harbor those type of feelings, man. Don't feel good about taking his energy, you know. that ain't the way to live, man. Just feel good that you mature enough to not let that bother you. You don't want to do anything with malicious intent, man, and then have that vengeance in your heart. Like, yeah, I took his energy. I feel good about it. Nah, that ain't the way to live, bro. Those are wrong intentions, bro. Just be like, man, I'm mature enough to not let what this dude said bother me. I'm good. That's the only way you need to look at it, bro. That's the only way you need to look at it, bro. That's the only way you need to look at it, man. So don't have that ill intent behind situations, man, especially when it comes to being the bigger person, being mature. Nah, you do that because that's something that you need to do. That's a response you needed to make. Oh, D is cool. Let him talk that negative talk. Guess what? Oh, that's gonna come back on him. That's gonna impact him. You ain't gotta do nothing for that energy to be reciprocated. It's gonna come back to him. Oh, swag, man. Hey, I get it. I just do not smile. It ain't nothing necessarily anything wrong with me. I just don't smile. And a lot of people think that too. They think, oh, you don't smile, something must be wrong. No, it's just who I am. See, that's one of those things that I be talking about in regards to striving to change a person. Smiling is just not something I do. So some people just got to accept that, man. I'm just not going to be in a picture smiling. I'm just not going to be a person that's just going to be smiling 24/7. See, my demeanor is like calm and like peaceful. Like with that type of demeanor, like I don't necessarily smile a lot, man. I just keep that, what they call stale face for the most part, man. Meaning I'm good. Like I'm centered, I'm at peace. A lot of the people that smile so much, man, they smiling to keep from crying. You know, laughing to keep from crying, smiling to keep from crying. Nothing wrong with a smile, but sometimes a lot of people are smiling, man, to just mask certain feelings and emotions. I just keep it kind of balanced and centered and at peace. So that's just been my facial expression for the longest. And I always have to explain to people that, no, I'm good. Nothing is really wrong with me, man. I just don't smile. I can probably be the happiest person that y'all know about, man, that y'all know. Yeah, original one. That's how it is. When something make me laugh, like when something is funny, I'm all for it. I'm gonna get my laugh in, man. But I'm just not smiling 24/7, man. Like I'm just not doing that, man. I'm not gonna look like I'm happy-go-lucky, man. Like sometimes that just ain't the vibe, man. Yeah, it hurts, man. I'm telling you. I used to get that a lot, man. People coming up to me, man, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, what you talking about? They're like, man, your facial expression, you look like you mad. I'm like, man, I'm good. Just my facial expression, man. I just got that type of facial expression. D Monty, what's going on? Oh, Tavon, people are, yeah, man, people just, especially, man, dealing with people in America, man, people are just lost. People are lost. People have no knowledge of themselves. That's what it is, man. That's what it boils down to, man. People are just lost. And I understand that. So a lot of times, man, I'm able to look at things from that perspective. Like, some people are just lost. A lot of people are just lost. They don't know who they are. And that's what causes the confusion. Hey, Terenzo, I probably got that type of stare myself. Bonafide, people look like they tell me I'm unapproachable. But then when they get to know me, they was like, man, at first I was afraid to approach you. But you one of the coolest dudes. I was like, man, again, because ain't nothing wrong with me, man. It's just my facial expression. Man, D, the better question is what black seed oil, what don't it do? Black seed oil is good for almost everything, man. Original one, and that's another thing too that I deal with, man. I really, like, you gotta catch me at the right time in regards to me wanting to express myself or explain myself, I really don't like explaining myself. Really don't like it. I feel like if I just say something, like it is what it is at that particular point, man. If I just say I don't really smile and be like, why? I'm like, man, I just don't do it. And when people keep pressing me, I'm like, man, I really don't owe you an explanation in regards to why I don't smile. I give you the explanation when I feel like giving you the explanation. But it's like when it comes to certain things like that, I really don't care to like go in detail with certain people because I know it'll be a waste of words. You know, me explaining to you why, like, this is just my natural facial expression and why I don't smile really ain't doing nothing. I'm like that with the way that I eat. I don't really try to go out of my way to explain why I don't eat certain things and why I eat certain things. Because for the most part, I'm explaining this to some people that it's not going to resonate with. They not going to make the changes that they need to make. So I don't really feel like wasting my time explaining it to this group of people. So man, just let me eat my grass, as they call it. Let me eat my rabbit food, as they call it, without me having to explain myself. Because again, I don't feel like wasting all those words because y'all really not going to listen to and take heed to what it is that I'm saying. So when it comes to certain things, man, I don't really like wasting words like that. Because wasting words, I'm wasting energy. D-Monty, yeah, that olive leaf extract is dope, man. I've been taking that for some months now. Anais, peace, what's going on? Airview, man, people have been intimidated by me for the longest, and I'm about the smallest dude always in the room. But it's like that face. They be like, man, I ain't gonna approach dude. Especially when I'm like in the gym, man. I used to have people in the gym say, man, they wanted to say something to me, but they did not want to interrupt my workout because of just how zoned out I be, man, and how I be looking. The Real Supreme, Kyle, what's going on with you? Definitely brainwashed and programmed. And Deja, those are the people that I have a problem with. When you feel entitled to an explanation, then that's when I'm more than likely to not give you that explanation. When I feel like you feel entitled to that explanation, you're not gonna get one just off of the strength of that. Terenzo, no doubt, again, Neely Fuller Jr., one of the GOATs. Yeah, D, and I got that information from like monks, man. You know how monks take that oath of silence? Like they do, like I didn't understand it at first. I'm like, dad, man, they take an oath of silence, man. They don't be saying nothing. That's crazy. But man, that's preserving energy. That's preserving peace. That's why they tell you not to engage in that mindless chatter, aka gossip. They tell you that. They tell you that. They tell you how negative it is to gossip and how worthless it is to gossip. I don't like to participate in a lot of gossip, man. I gotta have, listen, man, that conversation, it's got to be positive. It's got to be some meaning behind this conversation. It's got to be purpose behind this conversation and dialogue. Bonafide, no doubt. And Tavon, definitely that intimidation. Nias, yeah, exactly. That's one of the main reasons why I don't care to talk about the way that I'm eating around people. Because what's crazy is everybody becomes an expert in things when you bring them up. So when I talk about the way that I'm eating, now everybody is a nutritionist. All of a sudden, everybody turns into a nutritionist when you start talking about changing your diet. So everybody becomes a nutritionist. Just like if you was going into business for yourself or thinking about it, then everybody becomes knowledgeable in the world of business. So it's like, man, I don't have time for these fake experts, man. So it's like when you start talking about the way that you eat, now everybody is a nutritionist, and I don't have time for that. Like I studied the path that I'm taking. So I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is going to do for me. So I'm cool. I don't really need to explain it. If you want to know something about it, do the knowledge to it. Don't act like you got this fake insight and information on what it is that I'm doing. You know nothing about the vegan lifestyle. You've never lived it. So why am I supposed to listen to you in regards to you critiquing the lifestyle? I'm not about to listen to somebody that never embarked on it in the first place. So I don't care to have that conversation. Now, if you went through that lifestyle before, I might kind of care about what you're saying. But if you never attempted to go vegetarian and vegan and all that type of stuff, man, I don't care nothing about what you have to say about my lifestyle. And that's just how it is. OG, what's going on with you? Oh, Herxon, we living in the clone society. We living in that clone society, the artificial society. We live in that clone and that artificial society. And that's what, matter of fact, that's what we gonna term this. That's how we gonna term it. The people that all of a sudden become experts, when you bring up certain things, that's the new artificial intelligence. That's what we gonna call artificial intelligence, man. So when I bring up my vegan lifestyle around non-vegans and people who have never tried to eat plant-based in their life, and then all of a sudden they act like nutritionists, that's artificial intelligence right there. That's that AI right there. That's that AI. That's that artificial intelligence, man. I'm not listening to that. Original, man. Everybody I done worked around, man, be gossiping. I can't stand it. I gotta get away from that. D-Monty, that's that Ab Soul. It's that dude. Lottie D, hypertension, real simple when it comes to hypertension, right? Definitely need to strive to go plant-based, but you want to make sure you're eating about 80% of your food raw. Raw fruits, raw veggies. If you can't do the raw veggies, lightly cook the veggies. So lightly cooked vegetables, bunch of raw fruits. You want to do some fasting. So you want to go 1 to 2 days out of the week, nothing but water. If you can't tolerate nothing but water, do nothing but like smoothies, like 2 or 3 smoothies. So you want to incorporate all that, but you primarily want to focus on going plant-based, 80% raw or lightly cooked, what they call live food. So when you lightly cook some foods, you activate certain enzymes. That's what they would call a live food diet. But you want to go predominantly raw. Get a lot of raw foods in, raw fruits, raw veggies, all lightly cooked, nuts, seeds, drink plenty of water, and you good to roll. That hypertension, that'll go down easily. Oh yeah, Tavon, when you don't entertain the gossip, people look at you like you bougie or stuck up, like you beyond that gossip. Well, guess what? You right. If you think I'm bougie and I am above that gossip, I am beyond that gossip. I'm transcending above gossip. I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. SF Bomber, man, how to get your mind and body back in balance. The way that I would focus on getting the mind and body back in balance, I always focus on kind of like a detox, just cleansing yourself, man. And one of the best ways, honestly, one of the best ways that I do it, I take breaks from things like social media. I take a break from social media just to kind of get my mind, right, man, because social media, you can use it as a positive tool, but for the most part, man, it can become destructive. So I may go like 2 weeks or so with just no social media or limited social media. So I limit or just eliminate social media for a certain amount of time. And then I start really focusing on myself, man. I start journaling. I may do some fasting, just a few days of just water and fruits and veggies and stuff like that, man. That always helps get me back into balance. Meditation is crucial. Doing affirmations each morning. So those are little things that I do to get my mind and body back on track, along with exercising, of course. Oh, D-Monty, no doubt about that. And I done been there, done that. People tell me that they attempted to do it, but it ain't work out for them. I be like, well, how long did you do it for? They be like, oh, I did it for a week. I did it for 2 weeks, even a month. Even a year is actually not long enough, man, when you transition into a cleaner lifestyle. People don't understand how the process goes. So even a year is really not long enough, man, especially if you've been, depending on how long you've been eating garbage. If you've been eating garbage for 30 years, why you expect for your body to automatically just transition after year 1? Like, nah, you gave your body garbage for 30 years. You gonna need to give your body time, man, to heal itself. And you're gonna have to give it longer than a year. So it's like we give our body all that time to destroy it, but we don't give it enough time to heal itself. Oh, bona fide. I know how that go. I know how that go because at the end of the day, people are selfish. See, they coming to you because they feel like you can help them. So that's the only reason that they coming to you. But when it's time for them to help you out, then that don't go in alignment with with their vision there. So they only coming to you because they feel like you possess some type of information that'll be beneficial to them. That's the reason why they coming to you. So they not coming to you they not coming to you with the vision to say, okay, I'm going to go to her for this information. She going to help me out. Then I'm going to reciprocate that. That's not how they going into it. They going into it like, all right, I'm going through some and bona fide got the information I believe that will help me with this situation. That's it. That's the only reason they coming to you. Dominique, peace, what's going on? Man, D Monty, and all of that, it depends on the person. It might take 5 years for somebody to rewire them taste buds. So it depends on the person. It depends on their body type. It depends on how long they've been toxic. So man, it just all depends. Because you probably gonna spend the first 2 or 3 years trying to really figure out the proper way for you to be eaten. Because there is no universal way. So you're gonna spend the first year, 2, 3 years, man, just trying to figure out what exactly you need to eat. You're going to be trying to figure out what exactly your body needs. So you're going to be figuring all that stuff out. And it takes time to figure all that out. Like that type of stuff takes time. So again, man, people be trying to rush the healing process, man. It takes time. Like I said, especially if you 30 plus years into toxic eating, that's 30 years, man. That's 30 years of eating the wrong foods. Just think about that. 30 years of eating the wrong foods, and you think that it's supposed to fix itself in 1 year. How do you sound? So give yourself time, man. Give yourself time. That's patience, man. Be patient with yourself. And that's why I tell people, man, when you getting on this journey to be healthier, man, don't beat yourself over the head if you slipped up one day. That's to be expected, man. You done been eating this way for 30 years. You think that you're supposed to automatically transition to a cleaner lifestyle with no slip-ups? Easily? Nah, man, you gonna slip up, that's cool, just bounce back. That's not the end of the world, man. If you say, all right, I'm finna go vegan, and you mess around and have something with some milk and cheese in it, it's not the end of the world, man. You got time to bounce back, man. Don't beat yourself up over that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, that's the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong thing to do. I stress that to my people all the time, man. You supposed to work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, you can't work out Monday. Ain't the end of the world, man. Just work out on Tuesday. Push your routine back, man. Don't cry about it, man. Don't complain about it. Don't beat yourself up over the head. Just bounce back. Adapt and adjust. Like, that's the way you need to approach everything in life, man. Adapt and adjust, man. Be swift, be changeable. Don't beat yourself up, man. Don't be like, man, I was supposed to be on this so-called diet, man. I wasn't supposed to eat this pizza, and I messed around and ate the pizza. Man, you've been attached to this pizza for 30 years, man. It ain't gonna be that easy to break up with that pizza, man. Don't beat yourself up over that, man. It's to be expected. Come on now. Oh, Herx, no doubt. You already know I know a lot about that. So no doubt about it, man. You gotta practice that patience, man, with that diet, with that regimen. Especially if you've never done it before, man. It's something that's new to you, man. So you gotta give yourself a chance to, get used to it, man. Get the swing of things, man. It's gonna take time. You gotta figure some things out, man. You gotta figure some things out, man. Give yourself some time, man. Time is of the essence, man. Just give yourself time. You will figure it out. Everything will unfold the way that it's supposed to unfold for you. No sense of dwelling on that little mistake, that little slip up. It's something light, man. You can easily bounce back from that little slip up. Yeah, what they say, Tavon, man, nothing happens overnight except the coming of a day. So, like, that's it. Yeah, D-Monty, and that's what people tell me all the time, which is something that I already know. It's like when you start cleansing yourself, when you slip up, now your body has become more sensitive. So when you slip up, your body really gonna talk to you. So that's a good thing that you slipped up, because now your body really letting you know that this was the problem. When you were immune to it because you were eating that way for 30 plus years, your body stopped giving you those signs when you ate that pizza. Now when you slip up and eat that pizza, you feel like trash. Your body is back in balance. It's back balanced. Your body like, hold on, you need not eat this, man. It's not good for you. So now your body back talking to you. Yeah, but you never beat yourself up. Never. I don't care what it is that you striving to change in your life. Never beat yourself up. Never. Never. Like, never do that. That is not going to end well for you. Never beat yourself up over the head, man. That's just unnecessary. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's the last thing that you need to be doing, is beating yourself up over the head, man. That's the last thing that you need to be doing. Just stay focused, man. Just bounce back. Like I said, man, you had a rough day eating, then the next day you just fast, and you bouncing back. So now you don't got to feel as bad. Yeah, hey, Tavon, those addictions, man, are always peace when you overcoming those addictions, man. Hey, peace to you for overcoming that, though. Fun Gay, man, I done had a lot of experiences with people's family members not really having a liking towards me, man, for whatever reason. I done had a lot of situations like that. At the end of the day, I ain't in a relationship with the person's parents, so I don't really care if they like me or not. I'm already like what they would call antisocial. I'm already like an introvert, so I really don't care if I'm talking to you and your mother and your father don't like me. Really don't care. I don't really need to be around them. That's giving me more of a reason not to. Like, stuff like that just don't bother me, because I'm not talking to them. I don't need to have a relationship with them in my eyes, man. Like, that's just how I operate as a person. I really don't be caring about what people think about me, especially when it's incorrect. So it is what it is. That's giving me more reason not to communicate with a person. That's all I need, is more reason not to communicate and talk to somebody, because I'm already looking for that. Like, I don't be feeling like add too many people to my circle anyway. So when you give me more of the reason to not rock with you, that's all I need. Oh, Dominique, man, appreciate you, brother. Oh, Terenzo, no doubt. Hey, the best thing you can do is be and do. Like, gotta be it, gotta do it. Gotta be it and do it. That's my motto in life, man. You be it and you do it. But yeah, Fun Gay, man, I don't really too much care about what people be thinking about me, man, like that, man. Like, that's their problem. If you got a problem with me and I ain't did nothing to you, then you got some internal work that needs to be done, man. Like, I'm not really focusing on you, man. So if you don't like me for whatever reason that you don't like me for, especially when it's a made up reason, you got to deal with that. I can't help you. Magic Realms, peace. Yeah, so I don't even entertain that, man. I don't even entertain it. So like I said, somebody got a problem with me and I know I did nothing to the person, or I know it's a misunderstanding, that's on them. I'm gonna leave that up to them. If you want to have a conversation with me and you want to strive to get that understanding, people know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm on a lot of platforms, man, so it ain't really hard to find me. So if you got a misunderstanding about my life and the way that I live, It ain't nothing to reach out to me if you striving to gain that understanding, because I'll proudly give it to you if I feel like it's worthy, if I feel like you're trying to actually gain the understanding. If not, I don't care, because I don't owe you no explanation. I don't really have to be in anyone's good graces. I don't really care about who dislikes me, who likes me, and all of that type of stuff, man. That's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to me. And if you allow somebody to influence you, so if somebody don't like you, then they influence other people that don't like you. I don't need those people that were easily led in the wrong direction in my life neither. Original one, no doubt. Like I said, I felt like this video was needed. This stream was needed. And hey, it may just been needed because you needed to hear it. And you hearing it. Yeah, D-Monty, no doubt. They get mad at you when you actually don't care about what they saying and what they talking about. Yeah, it hurts, no doubt. When you got that knowledge of self and that self-love, man, can't nothing faze you, man. Can't nothing faze you. Yeah, Savine, man, a lot of people, man, they hate on you, man, because you doing some things that they wish that they had the discipline and the strength and the willpower to do. That's it. A lot of times, that's why people hating on you. Or people, again, hate on what they don't understand. So it's a misunderstanding. A lot of problems are caused because of a lack of understanding. So for the most part, they just don't understand what's going on. And they're not striving to gain that understanding. And that's where the dislike comes in at. But that's on them. Like, I can easily give you the words here, but you can't give anybody that understanding. The understanding is something that they gonna have to manifest. You can't make anybody understand your vision, understand where you coming from. That's on them. They have to gain the understanding. You cannot supply anybody with an understanding. You can only supply somebody with like your perspective. That's it. You can only supply somebody with a definition or a description. Whether or not they understand it is on them. It's up to them to do the work that's necessary to understand it. Just like you can show 10 people how to do this math problem. That don't mean all 10 people gonna understand exactly how you got to that answer. But you showing the same 10 people, you showing them the same math problem. That don't mean all 10 of them gonna pick up on it and understand it. They gonna understand it on their own time, on their own dime. That's how this works. You can't make them understand it just because you showed them how to do it. Like I showed y'all how to do this trigonometry problem, but that don't mean that they understand it because you showed them how to do it. That don't necessarily mean it. You explain to them how to do it, you describe how to do it, that don't necessarily mean they gonna understand it. Yeah, Deja, no doubt. Definitely can't make them drink it. And heck, even if you could make them drink it, that ain't good. I wouldn't want, matter of fact, I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that where I done made them drink I can make them drink the water. No. Because you about to suffocate them at that point. Oh yeah, Dominique, no doubt. That's the admiration. People call it hatred, but I look at it as admiration. They really admire you. Oh, fun game, man. I'm telling you, I know all about that. I know all about it, man. And a lot of people, my situation, a lot of people dislike me because of really it boils down to my views on like religion and stuff like that. So I have people, family members that not rocking with me because of what I stand on in regards to what I believe or know. They can't stand that, man. They think that I'm like a demon or devil or something, you know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't hit me with that. But it is what it is. That comes from a lack of understanding. Just chop it up with your boy and you will understand what it is that I'm coming from. You will understand that I'm a very peaceful person. But y'all, man, my client just pulled up, man. This was another stream, man, another positive stream, positive interaction, man. I appreciate all y'all interacting with your boy. I got to get this gym ready, man. Get this client in here, get her in and out. So I'm going to holler at y'all probably tomorrow once again, man. Y'all stay up, man. Y'all have a peaceful Thursday. I'm out, y'all. Peace.